What's better than a BMW GS?
Two BMW GSs.
Meet Saveen here. He's recently bought the brand new R1300 GS. So Saveen, tell me, why did you decide to buy the GS and not any other bike?
Well, it's a long story and a year in making actually. I've been researching on almost all bikes, including the mighty Africa Twin, but then not there in the country anymore, not getting a good piece. Then I tried the Versys 1100. But funny story about the Versys 1100, the guy at the showroom who was trying to sell me the bike thought that I was lucky to land up at the Kawasaki showroom asking for the bike. And I mean, I didn't feel the customer service kind of thing, you know. When I went to the BMW showroom, the customer service was off the roof. They were very welcoming and they were answering my questions and queries, and they already had every answer, you know, thought of, and so that means they had a lot of customers coming in, and I think it shows in the sales and in the chats where we see a lot of new bikes and new members being invited and welcomed to the BMW Motorrad group. So just for the sake of customer service, and then see, there's no hiding the fact that spec-wise, popularity-wise, the GS has been the best-selling motorbike in the adventure segment in history. The 1250 clocked, I don't know, God knows, it's in the thousands, 100,000s, I'm not sure of that. But it is the best-selling bike, and every bike wants to compare it with the BMW. It's the BMW killer, the 1250 killer, the GS killer. This is better than the GS. It's always a comparison with the GS.
The GS, yes.
The GS doesn't have to bother.
So was there any other motorcycle that came close to the GS for you?
The Triumph 1200 did come close, not gonna lie there. But as an overall package, there was something missing in the Triumph. I mean, the console, the animation in the console was not fluid.
Horrible. That was the single reason why I bought the 1350 GS.
Yes, and the fact that I'm a 5'8", 5'7", okay, guy, and the option of adaptive ride height, I didn't get in any of the bike except the Harley Davidson. But the Harley Davidson, it weighs a ton. You can't ride with it in a normal sense, you know, and this is the perfect thing for me.
I've never been a big fan of Harley Davidson. I used to be. When I started motorcycle riding, I wanted to buy the 47, only because what's his name, Wolverine rides it in X-Men, right? So, and it was such a beautiful motorcycle. It's a beautiful motorcycle. There's no denying that. But then again, it's an air-cooled motorcycle, and I'm not a very big fan of Harley Davidson. And when it comes to adventure riding, it really doesn't do.
It doesn't stand a chance. I mean, it does ride. I mean, you can take any bike to do adventure, but we've bought this bike for the purpose of ease.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the opportunities it gives us to explore ourselves, you know, the technology, and it's just out of the league.
When I started motorcycle riding, I have a classic 500, and when I started motorcycle riding, I did quite a lot of adventures on the classic 500. And it's not that it won't go anywhere, but you know, I remember I had gone to Sikkim. I was going to Gurdwangmar Lake, and there were people riding on the Himalaya, and they were whizzing past me. I was trying to understand how come they are able to go so comfortably and I am not. You know, my bike was wobbling like a sack of potatoes. And by the time it came back, it really needed a service. I mean, everything was shaking and wobbling. But then I bought the Himalayan, which was much better as far as riding is concerned. Of course, I unfortunately got a very bad piece. And the RE after sales service is horrible.
Oh, tell me about it.
Absolutely horrible.
No, tell me about it.
And if there is one thing that Royal Enfield can do is fix their after sales service. I mean, and I've talked about this in one of my previous videos also. Like for example, there was some fogging happening in the instrumentation panel, and I went to the service center and I told them there's fogging happening, and he says I can't see it right now. So obviously, you know, the fogging will happen when the weather is right and everything, right? Humidity and cold weather and all of that. And he told me that then you need to make a video of the instrumentation panel while riding at 50 kilometers per hour, and then it needs to cover my face and it needs to cover the chassis number.
What is he expecting? Some kind of a camera setup that
So, so I don't know. So, and then later on they said that we'll do it, and then they did it, and then they lost the video. With great difficulty, I was able to get the fog, and they got the fog, they did the video, and then, they lost the video, and then the weather was already over. So, and I had to call RSA, roadside assistance, 3 times within the warranty period. So then I got rid of that motorcycle, and then I finally bought it, the 1250 GSA, and it has been. What other motorcycles do you have, Savin?
So, okay, since you asked the question, I'd like to go back 20, 30 years. And I'm a Malu. So the Gulf thing has to happen. Right, it's a part of the life cycle for all Malus.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I came down to India, I went down to Tumkur. That's where my cousin was studying in SIT Tumkur, Engineering College. And he had a Samurai, Suzuki Samurai. He took me for a ride, and this is the first time I'm sitting on a bike in my life, and I'm holding on to dear life, and he's whizzing past traffic. And then suddenly 2 bikes whiz past us with the 2-stroke grunt, that growl. And I asked my brother, what bike is that? He said, that's an RX-100. He said, and then I said to myself, I'm going to buy that bike. And then after some time, a little more, probably 10 minutes in the traffic, those 2 bikes took off. And then suddenly something else bigger than that rode past us, rode past them, and then it just disappeared in the distance. And I asked my brother, what bike is that? He said, that's an RD350. I said, I'm going to buy that bike. So I own both the bikes in due course. Over a period of time, I own both bikes, and I can't tell you how much fun I had on those. Currently, I ride a Super Meteor 650. That is an RE. It's like you said, a lot of issues with service and parts availability. But it is a bike that is close to me. I have taken that to for quite some long rides and enjoyed it. It's a very different bike. In that bike, my ass hurts. In this bike, my wallet hurts.
Yeah. But the only 2 motorcycles that I like within the Royal Enfield lineup, one is the Himalayan 450 that has come up.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
That's a good one. And then the second one is the Super Meteor, and it's an absolutely beautiful motorcycle. I don't know what you call it. It's a cruiser. I would call it a cruiser. It's a beautiful, beautiful motorcycle.
It's a beautiful bike, and the design language speaks for itself. But like all cruisers, it's got its problems, where because by nature of the design, the bike is low. It's got a really low ground clearance, I think around 135 mm. So that means that suspension cannot travel further than the set limit, and that makes it really hard on really bad roads.
And considering it's a longer bike, the suspension is also
it's aligned in such a way that it can't travel much, because if it travels more than that, you're going to bottom out, right? And that's a pain in the bike. But overall, that bike, I think, on a good highway, I think that bike was meant for the European and American roads. They have the long, straight, beautiful roads.
No speed breakers.
No speed breakers, organized traffic. 2 less things to consider, no potholes, no assholes. So as compared to Indian road conditions. Yeah.
So what are the rides that you've done so far? And I'm not talking about this one. I understand this is new. How old is this bike now?
This is a month old. It's a month old, and I've already begun figuring out the dynamic handling in the RE. On the RE, the Super Meteor, you can't whiz past traffic. You have to have a measured way of riding. You need to decide beforehand when you're going to stop, when you're going to start, how you're going to tackle that that speed bump. On this, it's much easier. It's a different world. It's I don't even realize the bumps I'm on.
So what are the rides that you've done so far on the other one?
Coming on the rides, I've done the South Indian leg. I've done Hyderabad, Belgaum, Bangalore, the estate, the Munnar hill station, right down to Kanyakumari, and then went up the Konkan coast. Is that a Konkan? No, it's not a Konkan coast. Coromandel coast highway. Then cut in from Vizag. Then I've done the Rishikesh, Manali, Kempty Valley, that Dehradun, Uttarakhand. Those rides, those road stretches. I plan to go more. But I suspect that that bike will see less mileage now.
But then you can always go on this one.
Yeah, exactly. That bike is going to feel a little left out. This is going to see some traffic.
Well, it is the way it is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a classic 500 and it sits in the garage most of the times.
Yeah.
I use it for coming to office or, you know, going to nearby places where I'm going alone, etc. It's not going to see any more highway rides, the classic 500. But that's the way it is. I have done, so on my classic 500, I did Sikkim, I did Maharashtra, I did a lot of Bangalore, you know, multiple times. I've
Yeah.
done Udaipur,
Right.
you know, I went all the way from Gujarat and then Maharashtra and then all the way.
You've done the lower Mustang and upper Mustang as well, right?
Yes, that was on the classic 500.
On the
Yes,
classic
Nepal,
500, yeah.
I've done Nepal. And then on the Himalayan, I did Nagaland and Manipur. I did not do much on the Himalayan because I only had it for a year. And then I've bought this one. I did Mizoram on this one. So I've done Arunachal Pradesh multiple times, but those were rented motorcycles.
Okay.
And then I bought this one, and I've done Mizoram last year. That was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful ride. So that was nice.
So how do you manage the attention that you get in your bike? I mean, compared to those bikes, in my honest opinion, that bike has a statement. It has a presence on the road. Mine is a little more sleeker. It's a little more redefined in terms of angles and size and weight and all that. But that is a eye turner.
It's a head snapper, undoubtedly. It's not even a head turner. It's a head snapper. All right. And
How do you manage the attention?
there is nothing that you can really do about the attention. I mean, people will come and they will ask you, you know, how much does it cost, or what mileage does it give, you know, or what is the top speed that it will go on. These are the standard 3 questions that I get asked. Sometimes I tell them the actual cost, which is 28 lakhs, which is a very expensive motorcycle, depending upon where I am. So like if I'm in a remote location where there are people, the people have never seen a 28 lakh rupees motorcycle, even if they are safe, I don't tell them the actual price. I'll bring it down to 10 lakhs or 9 lakhs or something like that. I don't want, primarily because I don't want them to feel bad, you know, and I don't want them to feel that I am showing off.
Right. It is what it is. I mean, you get unnecessary attention.
Yeah, you do.
And then by way of human nature, it turns into a nasty situation in sometimes. I in fact, the other day I was at the signal. I was riding my Super Meteor, and the auto guy asked me how much it costed. So I told him 4.5 lakhs, which is, I think, compared to this, it's very different, right? I mean, it's much lesser. But he was like, he got very snobbish around it, and he was saying, oh, petrol dalta rahega. You just fill fuel in, that's all. Itna mileage. And then he took off. I didn't know what to say. I mean, it's
There's
not
a very funny situation that
yeah.
happened once with one of the BMW club members. Actually, I had gone to the training event. There's a BMW training event that happens. Level 1, level 2, level 3 trainings. Level 1 and level 2 happen in India. Level 3 also, I hear now they are happening in India. Earlier they used to happen in Thailand.
No, it still happened in Thailand. I was just told that.
So one of the guys said that once he was riding on the road and two chapris ride right next to him, and they come over and they ask, भैया ये पल्सर 220 है ना, किधर मॉडिफाई कराए? ठीक है, किधर मॉडिफाई कराए पल्सर 220? So he said that मजर भाई के रामकोटी में. So what are you going to do? You've got to deal with it, you know. I have had many people who have asked me to stop and then take selfies and photographs and all of that. Sometimes I do, allow it. It's okay. I mean, like for example, we were going to Assam and we were passing through a small village in West Bengal, and there was this, and I've met so many YouTubers. I mean, budding, new, struggling YouTubers who just start off their channel and they cover things like motorcycles and such. So he asked me to stop. He said he's a YouTuber and he wants to cover motorcycles. He's never seen a motorcycle like this. And so I said, okay. And then he took a video and then, and all of that. So sometimes I allow it. Other times I just ignore it. There's nothing that you can really do about it.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, how's the bike been in terms of service and all that? I mean, how's the experience at BMW for service?
Absolutely fantastic. Especially after the Royal Enfield horribleness, this has been, and see, they're not done with you the moment you buy the bike. That's the most beautiful part, right? They sell you the bike, but they will stay in touch with you, because one obvious reason is they want to do more business with you. They want to sell you the
accessories
top
and
boxes
stuff.
and the accessories and whatnot. They also conduct rides, and they want you to go on their rides, and they want you to take the trainings and all of that. But all of that is actually not really that bad, you see. I mean, so it's a little bit expensive, and that is okay, but it brings the community together. All the BMW motorcycle riders come together and do some stuff, and it's fun, right? But the second thing is, honest to God service, right? If you call them up and tell them that I have a problem, like once the tank didn't open, right? And this is an ongoing thing for my motorcycle. Probably the only two challenges that I've faced on my motorcycle is, one is sometimes the tank doesn't open, because it's automatic. You have to switch it off, switch it on, do a couple of trickery with it. And the second challenge that I've faced is it doesn't have backlit keys.
I mean,
Backlit
that's
switches.
one thing BMW has to think about. I mean, come on, 27 lakhs, 28 lakhs, no backlit keys.
It takes
That
a couple of
220,
bucks,
that
man,
220
100,
Pulsar
200
has it.
rupees. Yeah, I know. 220 Pulsars and all.
BMW, things to look out for.
Yeah.
Backlit keys.
So once it was not opening, and I sent out a message on the group, and immediately I had 15 people telling me what to do, and then I figured it out. And even the services, right? I mean, the first service was like really cheap, 3,000, 4,000 rupees or something, 6,000 rupees or something. The second service was a little expensive. I think it came to 12,000 rupees or something once a year. So yeah, I mean, you're buying a...
You have to expect it. I mean, you can't buy this bike and then ask kitna deti hai and think like that,
So,
I mean,
and the best part is the attitude of the people. That's what I like the most. I mean, they will attend to you, and you go there and there's nobody else there. And obviously that's because it's a 28 lakh rupees bike, and there are few, not as many BMW owners as there are Splendor.
other bikes, yes.
Other bikes. So I call them up ahead of time and tell them that I'm bringing it in for service, and they're waiting for me. I enter, there's no other bikes. I mean, there are a couple of other bikes. And the community is absolutely beautiful. Every time I go for servicing, I meet a few other riders, and we end up talking and chatting and doing stuff like that. And we spend, last time I spent the entire day, and you were buying the bike on that day. So it was a good fun day for me, although I had a little bit of a headache, but it was a fun day for me. We met Manu, and Manu, if you're watching,
Manu. Thanks. In fact, I asked a question to Manu. Do I need to do that PPF coating on the bike? I asked you too as well, and both of you said no need. But Manu's answer was a little more thing that I wanted to hear. Manu said, he explained the people who do PPF do it for the reason of maybe in case of resale, they get a better value because the bike retains its color and things like that. Second thing he said was that, see, I bought an ADV to do ADVing. The bike will fall. If the bike falls, there'll be a scratch, and that scratch I wear it as a badge of honor.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to
battle scars, man.
Those are battle scars. Yeah. So that's what he said, and I replied to him, "That's what I wanted to hear."
Yeah, absolutely.
So and then there's this thing of, now to do PPF on this bike. For whatever painted parts there are,
very little surface to.
Yeah, but it costs a bomb because the brand value brings the cost up, right? So
in fact, not just PPF, everything that you want to do on this bike is going to cost you more just because it's a BMW.
Right, and the PPF will cost you, let's say, upwards of 10-15K, right? And you have to replace the PPF after 4-5 years. That's the general lifespan.
Yeah.
You can spend less than 5K or 10K to paint it again. So there's no need of doing a PPF.
And I don't even wash my bike actually. I mean, it's an adventure bike. It's going to look a little bit dirty.
Right.
It's fine. Sometimes I wipe it off with a cloth, and once a month or so I give it for washing. And it costs me about 400-500 rupees. It's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter.
So the question I wanted to ask: how many signal to signal races have you won?
I haven't done any races, but this is what I say. Don't ask about mileage. When it comes to this bike, ask for mileage.
Mileage, yeah.
How many miles do you get per liter?
Yeah. So back in the day when I was an RX 100 and an RD 350 rider, when I was an RX 100 rider, I used to engage people. When I was an RD 350 rider, I was engaged, and now people just leave me alone. Until they want to poke and.
Sometimes we have some fun, races. I've done a few. It's not a signal to signal race.
Yeah.
Like Wipro Circle to I don't know Gopanpalli crossing. It's about 5-7. But from inside, I mean, there's traffic and everything. All right. So once I was going from Wipro Circle and I saw a Triumph owner, 1200. And I saw him whiz past me and I immediately picked up the pace and then we started going back and forth. And when he was going away, right, when we were splitting, he waved and went. So it was all in good sport.
The biker brotherhood kicks in. Yeah.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any accessories you're planning to put on this bike?
So I've put the side stand sensor guard. That one was because on the 1250 GSA, the sensor is actually exposed, which is not the case in your case.
Yeah, that part is not available actually.
I see. No, but I don't think it is exposed either. I mean, I think it's concealed, so it won't be damaged. That's the only thing. Second, what else? I mean, there are some mobile holders that I've kept on this. And what else did I do? A bottle holder I've kept. There are a few camera holders here and there, but other than that, I have not kept any accessories. Now, I am not going to buy a top box because one is it's freaking expensive, and second is I don't use a top box that much. I usually have a backpack that I tie to the back of the motorcycle, and I travel light. Already the bike is heavy. I don't want to increase the weight of the bike.
Yeah. I mean, I have this preconceived notion that an adventure bike should have side panniers, but I might rule against buying it. I already have the saddlebags for the Super Meteor. I mean, if it fits, it fits. Otherwise, I have a backpack and other bags and a lot of. By the way, I want to ask, what is the gear you have? I mean, riding gear. What all do you have?
Good question. Helmet, obviously. I've got gloves and I've got full gauntlet gloves. All right, all the way to the back.
You didn't explore the heated gloves?
No, I did not because he's got heated grips.
Right.
So no problem. Heated grips, heated seats, so no worries.
Right.
Full gauntlet gloves. And they are only for fashion, I'm telling you honestly. Okay. I don't believe in. And the BMW community, if they're looking at me, they're going to, they're going to cringe when I say this. There is a saying, they say ATGATT, or at GAT. Right? All the gear, all the time.
Okay.
It's so they believe in that, and if you remember Manu the other day, he was wearing full boots and full jacket and everything.
Right.
I don't believe in that. Drive safe, wear a helmet, undoubtedly. Okay, that's the law. I wear gloves for fashion, right? When I go on long rides, I wear them because they look cool and sexy. All right. Sometimes they are useful because if the sun is very hot, then and if you're going on a very long ride throughout the day, then you might get sunburnt a little bit.
I got no problems with getting sunburnt.
I don't. You've got extra melanin, my boy. Extra melanin. So I wear those hand gloves, and then I have a beautiful, Rhinox jacket, which I bought, I don't know, many years ago, and it's lasted me well. I have riding pants. I have riding boots, which are again all the way till calf level. I'm not wearing them today. I'm wearing Woodlands today, but all the way till the calf. And then what else? And I've got a camera on my helmet, which I've not fit today, and I've got Sena for helmet communication. I usually wear my G-Shock instead of the Apple Watch when I'm going on long rides because the sense of charging and then the risk of losing it, all those things. That's about it, really.
Yeah, for me, I went to the Bob MC ride this time in Gujarat, in Bhuj, and I started at 4 in the morning, and I took the Nanded highway, I remember, and then my hands froze. I was carrying the Cramster all by the gloves. I was carrying my normal Rhinox gloves, and for some reason the Cramster was not fitting anymore. So, and me being a tinkerer, I had chopped off the glove fingertips so that I could easily access my phone. But this was pain. With supreme effort, I had to roll back my tears and prevent me from crying. It was that cold.
I experienced that when I went to Pune for the first time.
And then I stopped at some place to have a hot tea and coffee, and I was standing right in front of the kettle, and luckily there was a shop right next to it, and I asked him for gloves. He had a pair of woolen gloves, and that was like, it was bliss. I wore the woolen gloves over my riding gloves. But yeah, you're right. After some time, I do feel riding gloves are a little intrusive. and when I want to experience the true riding thing aspect of things, like feeling the wind, feeling the acceleration, the accelerator.
See, there's this beautiful meme on Instagram that I've seen. How do you feel when you take a break and walk into a dhaba? And then they show Superman walking in, all right? When he's, I don't know which, Henry Cavill, right?
Okay.
All because of the gear.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're fully loaded gear, you've got a jacket, people are looking at you, you've got a leg holster hanging, you know, and you've got big boots and big riding pants, and you're carrying a helmet in your hand, and it looks sexy, man. I mean, there are a lot of my friends who say that all your pictures you're wearing the same dress. Yeah.
What?
I'm on a ride, man. Come on. So I like that look, you know, and that's why I wear that. I mean, now I don't have the paddings in my jacket and my trousers.
Right. I've removed mine as well.
Because it becomes too heavy.
Yeah.
Again, there are riders who are going to cringe, and Manu was telling me the other day that it has actually saved him once because the handlebar hit him on the chest, and there was the chest guard that helped him. Ride safe, don't ride. I mean, I'm not the guy who rides safe a lot. To be honest, I'm a little bit of a maniac when I'm on the highway. But, you know, it is what it is. I think it steals a little bit of fun out of motorcycling if you're too safe. Okay?
Actually, if you think about it, the riders of the past, the true, I call them true riders. I mean, they didn't have electronic aids. They had probably just balls. And that's the...
And a motorcycle.
And the motorcycle. The balls and the motorcycle, and that's all they did. And they experienced nature as is.
Absolutely.
Now, I think I might be touching on a bit of hypocrisy here. Yeah, if I don't want to say that I am against the riding aids because I have the one which has everything in it.
I know.
So, but yeah.
But I'll tell you what. Okay, we didn't buy this bike because we want to prove balls. Okay, I enjoy this fucking motorcycle, man. I enjoy it like anything. Okay, there's nothing better than riding this one. Of course, I mean, back in the day, there was a time when there were no such motorcycles. Okay, and it was just two wheels and an engine, and that's about it, right? And
drum brakes.
But those motorcycles were the most cutting-edge vehicles
at that time.
Of that time.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, it's okay. So, I mean, I try to balance it out a little bit. I mean, you have to be safe. You have to have some gear, but, you know, don't go crazy. And I also feel there is a conspiracy here. You know, people are trying to sell all of this gear, trying to make it as safe as possible.
I believe that. I think there is a capitalistic nature whenever you buy a product to make sure that you keep buying, right? I think you need to stop somewhere and just enjoy motorcycling for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just motorcycling. So when you ride, I think the sun is getting a little dim. So before that, I just want to touch on this subject. Very important for me on riding. What's the music you listen to?
And we are going to have extensive discussions about good music in one of the future videos. I listen to, actually, see, I'm very diverse when it comes to, I believe in diversity when it comes to music. And in fact, I believe just like porn, variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I listen to Indian classical music also during riding. There are some very good, what do you call that? Fusions that have come up recently with Indian classical music and modern music mixed together. I listen to that. But otherwise, you know, if I'm feeling sleepy, I listen to hard rock. And hard rock is not just old classic hard rock. I listen to all kinds of stuff. I recently discovered the Five Finger Death Punch, which is a shame because it's a very old band. I've never listened to it before. I was always stuck with Metallica, Megadeth, all of those. I also listen to a lot of cheesy, sleazy Hindi music because it gets me going, you know. It wakes me up and it makes me laugh, and I enjoy that. What about you?
I've always been a rock fan. Mallu, Gulf has to happen. So my dad had a collection of a lot of cassettes of ABBA, Boney M. So my introduction to the world of English music was very early on. I discovered rock sometime in the 4th or 5th standard, when my friend had gone to Bangalore, and I think Bangalore at that time was pretty happening in terms of heavy metal and rock. He came back with a couple of cassettes of Iron Maiden, and I stole them.
I used to steal cassettes too, but I'll tell you about it later.
I stole them. Sorry, Dina. So, and he came to my house. He asked me, Savin, you seen the cassette? I was like, no.
No.
No. What cassette is that you speak of? I have no idea. Anyway, so that started my heavy metal thing. So, and I listen to rock most of the time. But what I've noticed is when I'm riding, and I usually go solo, right? When I go solo, when I put on rock, right, my attention is shifted to music rather than riding.
Mm.
Because when I listen to music, I break the music down. It's an involuntary thought. I have to break down, okay, where does the guitar solo start? What is the tone? What kind of equipment he might be using? Is there reverb in it? Is there delay? I start thinking in those terms.
Which reminds me, by the way, you haven't told anybody. So Savin here plays the guitar, and he's quite good at it, and he's done quite a lot of shows in his youth. He's been slacking a little bit last couple of years, but he's a good guitarist, and that's why he's able to break down.
So rock is not happening for me these days. So I start to put on something which is music. It is there, but it's not there. You get what I'm saying? I know that music is playing. It's
White noise.
Yeah, something like white noise. You can hear it, but you're not in it, right? And then I can pay attention to riding. So I know this may sound cheesy to some people, but Enya. Yes,
Really?
I like Enya. And there's one band called Global Communications. Very soft background, almost elevator lift music kind of type. But not in...
God, I would sleep off in that kind of music, man.
I can't sleep when I'm on a bike like this. I mean, I'm thankfully my super meter is loud, so it keeps me awake. But yeah, the music is there. I don't need to particularly break it down and pay attention to music. Riding is happening, and that's what I want to pay attention to. I mean, I want the wind. I can't compare it to you where you have wind in the hair. I mean, I've got hair somewhere else, but I can't expose it. So soft music is the order of the day when I'm riding these days.
Good, man. Good. So, wise men say, for example,
Yeah, and I've noticed, I mean, I actually picked up on this when I was riding my RD, and I was having a signal-to-signal race with some other guy. I don't know, it's been some time. And when I was, I managed to put the gears and without finding false neutrals, when I managed to hit top gear and almost hitting 140, 150 over the inner ring road, Bangalore, I was playing Wise Men Say in my headphones. It was such a contrast to high speed revving and then a very laid back song. It just fit. It just happened. It just worked. It worked.
I've got to tell you this, Savin, you're a fucking weirdo.
I've heard that too many times.
So that's a wrap today. It was good fun talking to you. I hope and I wish you that we, ride. We have marvelous, long, beautiful, thousands of miles of motorcycle riding. I hope you have a lot of fun.
Thanks, man. I wish you likewise, and stay safe and keep riding.
And stay hydrated, everyone.
Yeah, keep hydrated.